I think the biggest misconception I had when choosing a UX bootcamp was thinking that there was one bootcamp that shined above all the rest, which is false. And I'm making this video specifically for those who are considering a career change and hence taking a UX bootcamp. As the title suggests, I personally chose Springboard specifically for this one reason, which I'll get to in just a bit. However, my honest opinion is, as long as you graduate with a portfolio, I don't think there is one bootcamp that shines above the rest. Like, it's a very skills-based industry, and if you have a portfolio, there's nothing stopping you from applying for a job. There are pros and cons to each bootcamp, and depending on where you are financially, how fast you want to switch careers, and how much time you're willing to dedicate into a bootcamp, the answer of which bootcamp is the best is going to vary person to person. With that said, there are 3 factors you should really consider, that being finances, how much time you're willing to dedicate towards bootcamp, and 3, how fast you want to switch, which is going to influence which bootcamp is best for you. And depending on these 3 factors, the answer is really going to vary person to person. So before we go on, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more UX content, and let's jump into the video. So first off, most of these bootcamps, they are around $5,000 to $50,000. For me at Springboard, it was $12,000 for their UX UI 9-month bootcamp. And because, I couldn't really pay it up front, I took out a loan. So I'm paying like $70 per month to cover the interest till I graduate. Then I think afterwards I'll be paying like $350 per month till it's paid off. So I'm going to assume that you are working full time, you have no design experience, and you want to make the fastest career change. For this, I think General Assembly would be a pretty popular choice. I know this is like one of the most famous UX bootcamps out there, and for good reason. Like, I've heard a lot of good reviews about it. People who come from no design backgrounds are able to get a job with this bootcamp, but because I guess it is more time intensive and you want like the best portfolio in the quickest amount of time, it is going to ultimately be more expensive to compensate for that. And that's why General Assembly is the most expensive, being at $14,000. If this is truly where you are right now and you don't mind spending the extra cash, I think General Assembly might be the best route for you, especially if you do not come from a design background. But the caveat is, I've heard from recruiters that because they are guiding you more since you come from no design background, these finished portfolios tend to look very cookie cutter and similar to one another, which is fine, considering that you've never had design experience, so you would need that extra help, but it is something you should keep in mind. But the answer could also vary, say if you are in that same situation, full-time, want the best career switch, but you come from no design background, but you want something more affordable, then a UX bootcamp like Design Lab or Ironhack might be the best solution for you, because it is a more affordable, but you might not have as much support with your portfolios and one-on-one mentorship because the finances aren't there to like pay for like a one-on-one mentor. And for me, one of the reasons I chose Springboard was because I wanted to put a lot of focus on the portfolio, and I've seen from like their course syllabus that it appears as if they allowed a lot more flexibility with their projects, which I was okay with. Coming from a design background, I'm very used to having super ambiguous project and project prompts, so being in this creative space or creative thinking to pump out, I guess, more unique ideas on my own is something I'm really used to and I'm comfortable with doing. Plus, although Springboard says it's a 9-month bootcamp, because they say it's self-paced, I could go faster or earlier if I wanted to, which I also liked. Not to mention, this bootcamp was the perfect choice for me because I'm not a rush to enter the UX world. I don't know if you guys know, but I am actually a gap year student at Parsons. I go there to study UX design, which I'll be returning for the fall for, and I have 2 more years till I graduate and enter the actual working world. So the urgency to actually have a job is not a priority of mine. But as I mentioned earlier in the video, the biggest reason why I chose Springboard was because they offered a mentor who worked at my dream company. Luckily, I made a video about this, about how I got a UX lead at Google to become my mentor, but long story short, it was through Springboard, as this mentor was one of the available options. So more than finances or trying to get a job as quick as possible, my biggest priority was creating a portfolio, but not only creating the best portfolio I could, but hopefully being in contact and being mentored by people who work at these tier 1 companies. So because ultimately working at a tier 1 or tier 2 company was one of my top priorities, I did not mind the bootcamp being 9 months instead of 4 months, or being like $12,000 instead of $4,000. So overall, as you can see, it really depends on what you're looking for, where you are financially, and how fast you're willing to switch, and how everything can like balance each other out depending on where you are right now. But because I know some of you are going to ask, if I had to choose a Springboard to That doesn't make sense. But because I know some of you are going to ask, if I had to choose a UX bootcamp, I would choose Springboard if I came from a design background, or General Assembly, or even CareerFoundary if I did not come from a design background. Although these are the most expensive, I would think the money I would make in the long term when I have the increased salary of having a higher paying UX job would compensate for the more expensive bootcamps. So I know I couldn't really give you a definitive answer because honestly, there is no one bootcamp that shines above the rest. And I know what I covered in this video does not cover every situation, so if you want my personal recommendation of what I think is best for your unique situation, leave a comment down below telling me where you are, what you're comfortable with, what things you're looking for in a career, and I can give you my recommendation there. Otherwise, that is all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure to leave a comment down below if you want my recommendation on bootcamps or on any other UX ideas you would like me to cover. Until then, thank you guys again for watching, and until next time.